spiders. It's well known. And my sister came. I was crying. I was 27, and I'm sorry, I've done that joke. And my sister came in and said it's an African spider. I went, are you sure? She went, yes. So, anyway, that's the end of that rubbish story. So, all right, cool school players in a minute. Now it's time for Boomerang by Marcus Miller. Oh, lovely.
Marcus Miller, one of the better session bass players in my estimation. Famous for the very funky Moog bass on Funkin' for Jamaica by Tom Brown. That's Marcus Miller playing
Moog.
that.
Old synthesizers.
Yeah, old synthesizers.
That's something we can talk about.
Have you got one?
No, but my brother... Really?
A kitten.
You've got a kitten? Really?
In the attic.
A monophonic synthesizer?
Monophonic, yeah.
The cat came out, that was duophonic.
Right.
You could hit two keys at the same time.
But not more than that.
No. And do you know what? Because they were not programmable, my brother, he couldn't program in the sound, so what he'd have is he'd draw... Or where
Sine waves.
where all the buttons were on the synthesizer, a full sheet of big A2 size paper, with all the synthesizer drawn on the paper where all the buttons were, and underneath it say brass or trumpet or bass, and you'd have to adjust all the buttons to get the sound. Very interesting if you're a musician. Not interesting if you're not a musician.
Well, you know the Fairlight. The
Fairlight CMI.
Yeah, it was invented by Trevor Horn, and every record that has a Fairlight on it, he gets a royalty.
Really? Invented by him. Trevor Horn, of course, known to many people as the man with the big glasses.
Buggles.
Buggles video killed the radio star. How prophetic that was. Video did indeed kill the radio star. I love being a DJ, it's great. We've talked enough about that now, it's no good anymore. Oh, of course, the other one is, of course, the mellotron, which, of course, was a primitive form of synthesizer.
What's that thing where you put your hand into a thing?
The vibraphone?
No, there's exponents of them, and they're...
wasn't that the one? That's
Theremin. Yeah,
it's used on the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And the mellotron is used on I'm Not in Love by 10cc and Strawberry Fields by the Beatles.
Incredible.
We're talking about Christmas, and so you've got a very interesting story about Christmas present you got, John.
Well, Bassett's used to do a licorice selection box. You remember it? There was a pipe with a red hundreds and thousands on the end, so it looked like it glowed, and a whirly, roundy one with a sort of one of those licorice all sort blue things in the middle, and then there was a flat one. They're all different shapes. Anyway, my mate Pete Wilkins didn't like licorice and gave me his selection box, and I had two Bassett's licorice selection boxes, and I ate both of them all in one sitting. Now, unbeknownst to me, as I was only a little boy, it's a huge laxative. So my mum and dad laughed while I spent 4 hours on the pan.
There's a lesson there for us all. And the moral of that story is don't eat too much licorice.
Exactly.
At Christmas. And remember, turkey is not just for Christmas, it's for life, if you know the amount of sandwiches you get in the following week from Christmas Day. Okay. The other thing about Christmas is, of course, James Bond films. That was always an institution at Christmas. And me and James were good pals, you know. No, me and John was big fans of the Bond film, weren't we?
Yeah.
And what do you think of the new fella?
I think he's good. I think his head is disproportionate to his bulked body, though.
Do you know what, though? You know he's known as, by some people, Mr. Potato Head.
Really?
He looks a bit like him, don't you think? The ears and the features are quite large.
Mr. Potato Head, I think it's a bit cruel.
No, I think he's very good, actually.
I think he's great. He's reinvented the whole thing.
He has. Anyway, and so James Bond films is a nice little link into the next song, which is one of my favourite James Bond themes, which is on Her Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby, which is a much underrated James Bond film.
It's a good film.
And it's got the best score by John Barry, and this is a version that I've not heard, but I can't wait, because John's a big fan of it, is on Her Majesty's Secret Service theme music by the Propeller Heads. Oh, that was fantastic.
Stunning, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was great. Very, very impressive. Yeah, big fan of that film, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. George Lazenby, much maligned.
But he's dubbed in it.
He is dubbed in it by that Scottish actor, that British actor who plays,
Charles Gray, is it?
No, he's that bloke who's in the Linley Mysteries, Inspector Linley.
Oh, yeah, I know the
that
one.
actor, he's in it, and he dubbed him, yeah. Charles Gray, interestingly, dubbed Jack Hawkins when he had throat cancer.
Yes.
Interesting fact there.
The only Blofeld that drags up as well.
Drags up? What do you mean?
Well, he dresses up as a woman, do you remember?
He does, doesn't he?
Remember in the back of a taxi or something.
That bizarre film. Yeah, but big fan of the Bond films. I remember going to see a double bill of On Her Majesty's Secret Service and Live and Let Die. Actually, one of my stories was about when my mum and dad went to the Round Table. Who remembers the Round Table?
Yeah.
And they went to Middleton to go on this Round Table trip, and they missed the coach, and they went to see Live and Let Die instead, and I was very jealous.
Oh, I bet.
And they came back and said, "Oh, it's a great film." And I was thinking, you don't even like James Bond, and I haven't been to see the film. Oh, it was very...
It's like I overheard someone saying, "Oh, I've seen the new Bond, you know, the Daniel Craig one," and it was a camera operator, and the boom operator went, "Oh, could you take your kids?" And he went, "Oh no, you couldn't take your kids to this one." I said, "No, not like that well-known children's film Moonraker."
Yeah,
they were kids' films, weren't they?
Yeah,
really?
they were. But you know what? My daughter went to see the new Bond film, and I wasn't very pleased about that because it's quite violent.
Right,
isn't
it is violent.
I'm
Yeah.
very displeased. Now, just before we move into the next track, I just want to whet your appetites because I'm staying at mother's house, mother and father's house, while I'm up here doing this radio thing for Christmas, of course. And what I decided to do was to bring in some books from the spare room where I'm staying, because it's the kind of books you get in the spare room of your house. And to just let you know, in anticipation, I've got the Ladybird book, The Story of Radio. Which
that's appropriate.
I'll be reading from. I thought that'd be very appropriate. And the other one I've got is the Young Mastermind Annual from 1978. We don't get annuals anymore for Christmas. It's a great shame. They seem to have fallen out of favour. And the other book we've got is where's it gone?
Is that the water supply?
Yeah,
one?
it's about
Where is it?
the technology of water supply.
Well, we've got the world's most evil men here.
And we've got the world's most evil man, which includes Pol Pot and the Reverend Jim Jones. We're talking getting back to all that after the next song, which is one of my favourites. Hallelujah, It's Christmas. Kind of a very vague Christmassy thing there.
Very tenuous, Steve.
It is, isn't it? I've got this Ladybird book, The Story of Radio, and I just want to read you the introduction.
Okay.
It's about the history of radio. I thought people listening to it, not many people on radio talk about the history of radio. Before radio was invented, men have always wished to send information over long distances. To do this, they shouted across valleys, made smoke signals like the Red Indians did, lighted beacons to warn England of the approaching Spanish Armada, hoisted flag signals, used the sun's light and a mirror, the heliograph, used their arms to wave semaphore signals, blinked, inverted commas, messages by Morse lamp, passed word from man to man in a human chain, or beat drums in jungles. How old is this book?
How old is it? What year is it published?
The publishing date is 1968.
I wonder if are they worth anything, do you think, Ladybird books?
Oh, I would imagine.
Because you can tell them from your house, because your dad's quite a scientist, so
I love the illustrations.
There's not a single Snow White or a Jack and the Beanstalk there. It's all how a screwdriver can be used. And
yeah, look, that was early experiments. The amazing Marconi. Marconi. Do
you know what Marconi was doing though when he invented radio? It was a means. What he was actually doing was he was trying to contact the dead. That's why he invented radio. He was trying to find a band where he could hear spirit voices. I
think that's rubbish. Probably.
Do you know?
It sounds like a made-up story to me.
No, that's Marconi was definitely. He was he was into the spiritual side of things.
Really? I'm not sure I believe that.
Well,
no. I think we're going to have to Google that later.
You will.
Okay. No, I'm just looking through. It's just loads of diagrams. It looks terrible. Marconi's early receivers. Marconi's magnetic detector. Oh dear. Does it get better? Other detectors of radio waves and Fleming's wonderful invention. The great discovery of... Oh, no.
It's not very
It's got the post office tower. Do you know there? Do you remember when the restaurant revolved at the top of that?
I've been in the post office tower while it revolved.
No way.
I have.
Where?
I was...
Really?
It was for children in need, and I was up there with Vic Reeves, Bob Mortimer,
Hang on
Tracy Ullman.
It stopped revolving years ago.
No, it was... They got it going again. But it wasn't a restaurant.
I know, but they got it revolving again.
Yeah, it was going, but very slowly. Yeah.
Good Lord.
But there's that place in Liverpool, isn't there? You know that tower in Liverpool? Have you seen it? Where there's a restaurant at the top there. They had to shut it down, though, because there's only a lift and no stairs.
Breaches health and safety. Yeah, because it's been updated. I know, I understand. And as well it should. Health and safety very powerful. They can shut you down like that. Now, yes, Dave, we've got a lovely song coming up. It takes me back to the 80s when I used to moonwalk to school. It's A Night to Remember by Shalimar. Oh, I used to love the olden days when you could just body pop.
Without shame.
Without shame. Do you know, I've got these books here, and it's quite interesting. I just want to read you some interesting facts, some fun facts in the
Mastermind.
the Young Mastermind Annual. Fun facts: slow coaches. Tests on a giant tortoise show that its maximum speed on land is 0.17 miles per hour. A hungry tortoise, enticed by a cabbage, was